Good evening. Welcome to the Glens Falls Board of Public Safety meeting. It's 4 p.m. and it's Wednesday, November 12th. We are here, we call this meeting to order. And Peter, we will, let's see, we open the public comment later. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We have a resolution to approve the October 8th meeting of the minutes of the Board of Public Safety. And Chip, do we need to add special meeting minutes?
Minutes of the special meeting held on November 5th.
So if you don't mind, we'd like to have,
I just.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
we have one motion to approve both the minutes of the October 8th meeting and the special meeting of November 5th.
I'll move that.
Do we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Resolution to approve the 5th annual Open Door Mission Gobble Wobble. Chip, can you make a note to call them and see if I'm supposed to be the starter as well as a runner in that event? I guess my kids will go again, get beat by my two younger kids running this race. If that doesn't humble you, nothing will. We have a resolution to approve the annual Open Door Gobble Wobble to be held on Thursday, November 27th, 8:30 a.m. to 10:30. Set up on Thursday morning. Takedown will be later that day with all signage removed by Friday the 28th. The race will begin at the Open Door Mission on Warren Street, go up Platt Street to Dix Avenue, over to Hunter, back on Bay Street, a portion of Glens Street to the Circle, and then back down Warren Street. Finish will be held in the same manner as in previous years. Anybody have any questions about the event?
We had, I'm looking on my phone, and forgive me. We had an email from Mike Seidel.
I've already reached back out, they didn't say Glens Falls yet.
So,
It says additional, but it doesn't say Glens Falls.
so are we okay with that? We're okay to move forward now?
Just-
Yes, I'll make sure we get, they do it every year.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
Yep.
Lauren Schreider gets it for me.
Okay.
Good job, Gabriel, I had that too.
Stole your thunder, did she?
No,
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so do we have a motion to, any other questions? Motion to approve? We got one, motion, all approved, we need, no hand mission, she's got a right and in that, so we need, please,
The eyes are in the back of my
that's
head.
right. Like every mother alive, right?
Back
That's
there.
great, the eyes are behind your head, that's great. Okay, 4, is a resolution to approve the 2025 Kiwanis Spirit in the Trees to be held at Crandall Park on the main field beginning on November 29th and running through January 1st, 2026. All the trees will be taken down by January 4th, 2026. The event organizers estimate between 100 and 500 visitors a day, with the heaviest traffic on weekends, and viewing will be permitted until 10 p.m. Any questions? Same event as we've had the last several years. Biggest challenges was DPW running the electric out and not with rain or snow out to the trees. But other than that, it's been a great event for the community.
I'll so move that. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. 5 is a resolution to approve the first annual City of Glens Falls Holiday Season Kickoff event to be held on Saturday, December 6th until from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the South Street Ed Pavilion. At the Ed Pavilion, there we go. The city is requesting a road closure on South Street between Elm and Broad and South Street split. There will be there will be food trucks and potential activities for kids as attached. The city actually will be running this event, probably our first and only event. The reason this event is in front of you is because the Business Collaborative decided to not have vendors on Maple Street on that weekend, the Friday and Saturday. They used to, and I think even on Sunday. Their funding dried up, and so we're having Santa on Friday night come in on a fire truck. We'll light the Christmas tree. Mayor and Santa will light the city tree. Then that Friday night, businesses will close down part of Glen and have that event. But what we're gonna do is have the Ed on Saturday, have some tree decorating, have some music, holiday music, and maybe even a movie, Christmas movie or so playing in the new Ed Arena on that Saturday. And then what we're not seeing here is Sunday will still be the Larac Holiday Craft Festival, just Sunday inside at the Queensberry Hotel. That's the full weekend. This is just for the city to hold this holiday kickoff event on Saturday, 2 to 5 p.m. Any questions? Do a motion to approve? Great.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Under new business, discussion and notification of the second test placement of an EV charging station by Goalpost Inc. with a location approximately at 22 Bay Street, right behind the 333 Glen parking garage site, as authorized by Jeff Flagg, our Economic Development Director for the City of Glens Falls. The city will need to reserve the space for a charging station. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Comments regarding Commissioner Seidel, who was not able to be here, but he had some questions regarding this.
Okay.
Chip, are you aware of?
I believe Jeff was gonna come and talk to you, and I can run over there and see.
Okay. What were the questions? I might be able to.
He was concerned about potential electrification if someone got too close to it.
Yeah, liability insurance.
Yes.
We'll make sure we've got the liability insurance for the city. We do appreciate that electric charging stations can be dangerous, but the city has great liability, and we need to move into the 21st century and provide electric charging stations for people that want to have green energy and move in that direction.
This is the second one we've had.
It is, just the second one in the public streets. It's actually, would be the 25th and the 26th ones we've had. So we had 12 of them, and we got a state grant to pay for them. And we put them in 12 different locations. So one used to be at the entrance on Dix Avenue. We have 2 that are at our DPW that have to be available for both public and our city employees. We have one down at the, oh my goodness, I'm gonna challenge myself. We've had them in different areas, and we even had some at the old, what I used to call the old Sippy's parking lot, the old South Street parking lot. There are charging stations there too that we got grants to pay for. And what we're doing is once we get them in, we find somebody else to run them so that we're not maintaining them, and that's okay. So whatever, we just make sure that whatever electricity is used, that gets paid for by the user, and that the city doesn't have any long-term liability.
Very good, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So I'll make sure though, Jeff, that we make sure with our insurance company that we're fully insured. So if somebody somehow gets electrocuted using our charge station.
I believe Mike's concern was there is insurance, but it wasn't up to a level that he thought was
Right.
required.
Right. So with the additional level, would somebody like to make a motion?
Also move that. I will move that.
Oh, no, it's just discussion. So
Discussion regarding it.
there we go. Then let's make sure that we ask Jeff to request the additional insurance, and then maybe get it on next month's agenda for approval if everybody else is comfortable with anything but that insurance. B, discussion. Morgan Van Buren, who rides at 55, Vandenberg, sorry, who resides at 55 Montcalm Street, writes that her daughter, Sage Vandenberg, was recently diagnosed with autism. In regards to her daughter's diagnosis, because of her developmental behavioral, doctor wants her to be safe due to a high elopement risk. She is asking for a sign to be put outside her home notifying the traffic to be aware of an autistic child in the area. Any discussion? Can I, if you're okay with it, I'll reach out to DPW and see if we can get such a sign, and if we can, I don't know why we wouldn't, we were
I could
willing
not
to do
find
it.
anything in the traffic.
Yeah, I've not
I didn't.
seen one before. As long as it's okay if we do it, I'm in favor of it.
Yeah,
Correct.
let me look into
We
it,
might
if
want
you're
to have
okay
some
with it.
criteria on it.
Yeah, it's usually the opposite that's happening today, that Quite often, people won't want to identify someone with autism in the community, but I certainly understand that, you know, I think that that's the equivalent sometimes of the slow children,
Hearing
yeah, or slow down children that play.
Right.
So I'll find out if there's an appropriate one and bring it back to you with a resolution.
And there's no enforcement, that's probably why it's not.
Yeah.
Because it's more of a,
Yeah, it's not an enforcement, it's more of an awareness,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
So if we can do it, we'll have Tommy look it up for us and make a recommendation to you, okay?
So we'll table that until next month.
Yeah, we'll table it until we can find out what the appropriate sign is. We, you know, that's fair enough.
Great.
Yes. Old business. Still waiting city attorney advice regarding bicycles and EV on city sidewalk. I didn't know we were looking for city attorney's advice, Chip, are we?
She was gonna write something up just to clarify what we can do and not do, and then actually put it towards a vote if we wanted to.
Because our police chief had looked it up and understands that and actually had, we know the laws that currently stand and I think Chief, could you ask at next month's Board of Public Safety meeting that, I forget if it was Officer Padone, if he could come and just review what the current rules are. I know he's done it once, but I think that answers all of our questions.
I can let
Meaning,
you know, I have it.
I mean, what he said is that he had done some research, I'll give the synopsis, but I don't want you go on my word of it. That it is illegal for any adult to be, or a kid really, to be riding a bicycle on our sidewalk. And that he didn't think they were enforcing it with kids under 10 years old, but that it has been through all downtown. There's no bike riding on sidewalks because of the safety concerns. He also reviewed a few other rules that I don't think we recognized were in because we were looking at them in safety of electric bikes and stuff. So maybe if he could come and tell you about what it currently is, then you could think about, do we want our city attorney to make any changes to our current laws and recommendations? If you did decide you wanted to, then you could make such a recommendation, and then it would go, city attorney would bring it in front of the council, and then they'd vote. But I think that what we had a bit of a consensus that we have the laws. We just need to,
He's your
Maybe it's an awareness issue, people just don't know, I'm still getting calls.
yeah. So and I think that the answer is, maybe we should ask Sergeant Padone to make us a, what I call a cheat sheet of rules. I used to do this in Special Olympics, like if it was a softball tournament, I would pick the top laws that are rules in softball that were misunderstood by coaches. And before the state games, I would hand them all out when they registered for it because, it was all the most misunderstood rules or not enforced. I wanted to make sure both my officials and the coaches knew what the gameplay was. Maybe we could get a cheat sheet regarding bicycles downtown and the rest of the city that we could use to educate ourselves and make sure we're not looking to make any changes, but then educate the public and send that to everybody who calls and complains about it. I did notice in my social media where I had that request for decency and understanding and patience, that somebody said, oh, they're not doing anything anyway. And I thought, oh, there you go. All right, well, regardless of what the article said, right? And so I think there will be people who are convinced that we're not doing anything about kids on bikes and about bikes on sidewalks. It's not true. But I think there will be people that would, so I think if we find a tool that we could highlight those laws as they currently stand, then we can at least share that with people publicly and say, well, those laws do exist. Because I think,
We should specify the state laws, is that correct?
yes,
Yeah, state laws.
We've posted several times on our Facebook page, the rules and regulations, both the state and what's in the city ordinance. So it's good just to keep them.
great. And maybe you could make a copy for me and then I'll make sure it's in your packets next month.
Do I have to
And then
get a
I want to
Facebook
give it to you because I don't believe it's waiting for Karen to do anything.
Okay.
Fair enough, Chip?
Yes, sir.
I don't think we're waiting for Karen to do anything because
Yeah,
I think,
maybe this way she's not running back, it's all done, we're done with this.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay,
One more thing, please,
Yes,
Mayor.
yes.
Old business,
yes?
the parking space on Ridge Street, on the west side of Ridge Street.
Yeah. We're supposed to change that, right? And we haven't?
I'm still waiting for Mr.
That's
Jerome.
something you could, Chip, we need to, I think the law has been passed, the resolution's been made, and I think the
A
council,
while ago,
we
yeah.
need to check and make sure the council, I do believe the council approved it, and now we just need the no parking sign and maybe removal of some
Right out here,
streets.
right, Tim?
South, yes.
Yep.
South only.
Of the, yes, south of the west
Crosswalk.
side of Ridge Street's crosswalk. Yes, please.
I will look that up.
You might as
Thank
well
you.
follow up on J Street for me.
And Jane Street is what, go ahead?
J Street, you just need the signs, you don't need the
Right. It's
local law,
been
because it's
done.
already in, well, no, because it's already state law
Yeah.
to begin with, so
Just
they
need to
just,
have it done right.
DPW needs to put the signs up.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And I think that's the case with this. I think that the law has been passed, but you need to check it, and then we need to make.
Yeah, I
a
can just
comment.
reflect Tommy, he may have it on the list, and I'll find out.
Yep,
Thank you.
thank you. I think next up is Chief Smith's monthly report. Yes.
One more on the old business.
Yes.
Any word on the Hudson Avenue crosswalk we discussed a couple months ago?
Remind me.
At the bend, where the trees were gonna get cut down, the crosswalk with the flashing lights for
Oh, yeah,
the school.
from the,
Yeah.
because, we did the study and
Right, the
made
study was
recommendations.
done.
So Chip, it's a note
All right.
about AGFTC with Aaron and where we are with that. Because I know
They were
we-
funding it, yeah.
they are funding it, and we did the study, and it said we call for it, and so maybe we haven't gotten the equipment in yet, and it's ordered, but we definitely,
Yeah, I can get you an answer by next month.
Sounds good.
great. Any other old business? Sorry, I keep trying to move it
Was that
forward.
it? Is that all we had? That's all we had?
Good.
I'm thinking,
All
my
right.
brain is rolling down.
Chief Smith, how are you, sir?
I'm well, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
I have no old business and no new business. Unless you have any questions
Look at
about
that.
the,
Everybody get a chance to see Chief's report?
I think you're doing a great job. They're all doing a great job.
Thank you.
Love to see him. I love to see him on the streets. Love it.
Forward that on.
I've noticed, and I'm not certain whether it's the weather that is deterring collection of individuals in areas outside of City Hall and the Circle, but I've noticed that it has declined, and I would love to believe it's because our police officers are out there.
I think it's a combination of all of it, for sure.
Take credit when credit.
I know from my perspective, it's hard to take credit, because then when it goes bad, you go, it's not my, if I take credit for, I remember in the spring, we had quite a few less folks that we'd had in the previous year, and people were congratulating me. And I did a couple, you're welcome, and then when it went bad, it was me. If I gotta take credit on one end, I take credit on the other, so. Anyway, I think they are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Yes.
I do request a quick executive session for this.
Discipline?
Yes.
Great.
Thank you. So make a motion to approve the chiefs.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Deputy Chief Miller.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's not the summer anymore, is it?
Yeah.
Our first winter snowfall yesterday, and it's now wet. So be careful out there. We had a good success with our confined space course that we hosted for our department. We now have 13 more capable firefighters who are able to do their job in confined space, which we desperately needed. As you see from your reports, we had 304 calls for the month of October, 260 of those being EMS or EMS related type calls, which gives us a run of 3,241 for the year. As you know, the Fire Prevention Office was busy last month, as that was Fire Prevention Month. He was busy with 23 inspections, over 17 code reviews, and as well as helping our Secretary Lori with the 15 tours that were both given at the station and at the different schools, along with the crews that were working those days. I also gave you a report just to keep you guys in the know as well as the council for the status of the department related to the needs and repairs and forecast of vehicle replacements. So that's for your knowledge there as well. Upcoming, we just put 3 guys into a new program, working with Cobble Skill now for our paramedic program. Are currently in an A&P class, which is a prerequisite for their paramedic program. So starting next year in May, they will be starting their paramedic program, which we currently have them in an 18-month program with E-Town. With the Cobble Skill program, it cuts it down to 12 months, which gets them on the line quicker, as well as cutting down on the overtime necessary for that endeavor. With the coming holiday season, we ask everyone to be safe when you're cooking your turkey, especially if you're going to be utilizing the oil and the boil method. Just follow directions. Right? Don't put a frozen turkey in hot oil. It doesn't work out too well, no matter how hard you try. Your Christmas decorations that come along with that holiday date, putting up your tree, make sure you check your lights, your cables, everything associated, and make sure they're not frayed or need to be replaced. Don't overload your extension cords. Don't plug in more than the outlet allows you, because that's why there's only 2. If you can, spray your tree with a fire retardant and keep them away from heating sources. That dries them out quicker than normal, as well as making sure you have plenty of water at the base so they don't dry out as well. Coming in about another week and a half, we'll be welcoming back our 2 students, the firemen from graduation of Utica, and they'll be going back for a week for rope rescue starting in December. So they're almost done, just that close. And I also am requesting an executive session to discuss promotional.
Do a motion to accept the chief's report.
I'll make that motion.
A second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Before you go, Chief, do you have that document about the shared memo, Andy? Is that in the packet?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Great. So I want to, in your packet, it's fairly new in your packet. So it's the interagency transport agreement MOU. It's a draft of a document. So I know this board, before we go into executive session or go into public comment and then go into executive session, I want to review with you where it is. You should have it. If you don't have it, Chief can get you another copy. So give you some context, some of you are newer board members. So beginning about 20 years ago, the fire department at that time was handled maybe a couple hundred fire calls a year, right? Of that, maybe 40 fires, house fires or building fires. And under the gentleman who'd become Chief Schrammel, but he was a firefighter, Jamie Schrammel, they realized that in the area that ambulance services were struggling to survive and live. And we had several ambulances, Empire Ambulance here in Glens Falls and others, and communities struggled to get qualified ambulance services that can make both not cost the community too much money, but also make a business, make a living at it. And so at that time, it was a novel idea for our firefighters who were paid professionals, right? One of the things that makes us unique from the city of Saratoga all the way to the city of Plattsburgh, there are no paid firefighters, okay? So, except for Glens Falls. And Glens Falls is very proud of that. It's done a great job. It's been a tradition for, well over, I think, 100 years. And so, what Chief Schrammel worked with the then Chief, probably Ives, on, maybe I was wrong, but I think it was Chief Ives. What they did is they realized that those firefighters could also become EMTs and paramedics. And in doing so, could employ and put several of those firefighters in ambulances. And so when we got a call, whether it be to a fire or a call for public safety, that we could lead that charge with our paid officers who were there anyway, our paid firefighters. And so in doing that, over the years, we've done it, and now every firefighter, once he receives all of his training, is both an EMT and a paramedic. Am I saying that right, Chief?
He's a paramedic firefighter.
A paramedic firefighter. And so extremely well qualified, fantastic, and now they're receiving over, is it almost 4,000? Almost 4,000 calls a year that our firefighters are going on. And that number actually of actual fire calls is diminished during that 20 years. And how many fire calls roughly are we going on in a year? Or
Right
maybe
now, we
fire,
have 19 actual structure fires for the year.
19 fires, but maybe a couple hundred again,
Correct.
close calls or almost fires, or, you know,
Right.
frozen turkey fire, right, that didn't catch the house on fire. So it's been successful. And the reason they decided to do that wasn't just because they thought that our firefighters could be busier, but more of that they were the best qualified people to do it, and they're paid professionals, and it made sense, and there was a billing mechanism. So as you stand today in the fire department's annual budget of $6 million cost to the city of Glens Falls, it's literally 1/4 of the entire city's budget is for the police department. Another 1/4 of that budget is the police department, right? So there's fire and police together make up about half of the city's entire budget. And we, well, all the residents that I'm aware of, and the city council and boards like you are extremely happy and proud about that, right? It is a burden, but it is also one in which we are super psyched that when we need a call of a police officer or a firefighter, that in minutes there's somebody there, a paid professional there, and it's amazing stuff. So so I didn't mention the kicker in that is that we almost bill almost $1 million, $900,000 of income comes to paying off part of that $6 million in costs. And so that is fantastic. It helps to go to making sure they're trained well and operating well, and it's fantastic. But they are maxed out, okay? The union would be, I think, firefighter union would thank me for saying that. They are in handling for nearly 4,000 calls a year. They are as busy as they can be. And yet also, ambulance services in that same 20-year period are struggling all over. And we have another rising need, which is medical transport calls. Right now, between Hudson Headwaters and the city of Glens Falls, the Glens Falls Hospital. I don't know if they would be happy if I called it the city of Glens Falls Hospital. But Glens Falls Hospital, between that, right now, because our paramedics and firefighters are so busy in answering the 4,000 calls, that 9 out of 10 calls that we get from the hospital, where we could make money in transporting them, let's say there's a call and there's dozens of them every day. Dozens, is my right, every day? So dozens of calls every day that the Glens Falls the Glens Falls Hospital needs to pay somebody to transport a non-emergency to Albany Med, and right now Glens Falls is the only real operator of a certificate of need to operate ambulances. But we can't do them because we can't overburden and so other agencies are picking it up. What you have there is, we've talked to, I think there's a long-term goal here, that eventually that the Glens Falls Fire Department expands itself and provides more ambulance services so they can generate more money. But it's extremely difficult to do because we need to be careful about our longevity costs, our legacy costs. Firefighter retirement, firefighter insurance, firefighter, all those things are really expensive to a city. Like I said, we're grateful to have them, but we don't want to add more without knowing that the income is maybe double what the expense of those legacy costs and the paying of people to do it. It's not just simple, oh, you get this much money, you should be able to just add an you gotta buy the ambulance, you gotta pay that officer, you gotta get them trained and everything else. So this is a stopgap measure. The chief reached out to the Department of Health, that are the people that oversee ambulance services, and they have recommended that we utilize some ambulances in the area, the town of Moreau, sorry, Chief, you want to tell me the three again?
West Glens Falls, Queensbury, and
West Glens Falls, Queensbury, and Moreau. And if we were to move forward, I need you all to look at this and come back with questions for Chief next month and see if you guys agree with this. What it would allow us to do is get those calls from Glens Falls Hospital. Instead of just saying, sorry, we're too busy and we can't take it, we would call Moreau or Queensbury or West Glens Falls. They could do the transport and bill, and Glens Falls would take a percentage of that because it would be under our certificate of need. Thank you. You see that? So we have a certificate of need right now. It's exclusive to the city of Glens Falls. This would allow us to keep that. If we don't work in this direction, and we would get 20% of the call by referring it to other people, and we should. All right, but this will allow us to not be the only one with certificate of need. If we don't do it over time, the state is going to be required to approve other ambulance services to be able to do these transports. And if they do, then we won't have the exclusivity that we enjoy today. And we got that back in the day when Chief Smith and Chief Schrammel, and it was then really Chief Cody or Ives. So, did I explain that? I'm sorry, I'm trying not to ramble, but so what it is the chief has gone to the Department of Health and said, hey, we know this need, we cannot further burden our firefighters and our paramedics to do these, and yet we know it's also technically illegal for other agencies. What if we did this? And they said, yes, this has been done in other places in New York. This is how you could do it and not lose your certificate of need. We'd be able to make a little bit of money and then explore that bigger, longer term picture of how to provide these services for our health community and maybe others in time. Okay? Thank you all. No resolution or anything, just want you to see it, make sure you understand it, where we come from. And that history lesson, I think, is a big piece of this, right? Because otherwise you go, why are we doing this, right? And
The history and the future.
yeah, that's right. And many people don't understand that Glens Falls Fire Department does all these calls in the city and does a great job with it. And what makes them stand apart from many other fire departments, from many other communities, and how we're not having to contract out with, say, Empire Ambulance, right, or Mohawk, right? And they're going out of business. I don't know if you recognize that. This is a great opportunity, I think. And if you agree, come back with thoughts and questions. I think we should move forward with it. If you agree, then we make the recommendation. And I don't know if it goes to the council or not, because we already have the certificate of need. It's just a matter of allowing us to work with the other organizations and collaborate with them. So don't know if it needs to go to the council, but you certainly need to provide a recommendation. Yes, chief should move in this direction. Okay? Mm-hmm. All right. Anybody? Do we have anybody? I see somebody here from the community. Did you want to come and make a public comment? No, you just came to watch. A high school student, college student. Welcome.
Thank you.
This is the Board of Public Safety. They're all have to be residents in Glens Falls. They're all appointed by the mayor, and they review all these public safety issues that come in from them on a monthly basis. Any question? No? All right. Well, Peter, do we have anybody online that might have any questions for the Board of Public Safety?
No questions, just people online.
Oh, fantastic. So with that, we'll take them, so that Emily doesn't need to stay. Do we have resolutions, gentlemen, in your, no?
No.
So Whoever makes a motion to go out, and then we go into my office because our auditors are in the mayor's conference room. So we'll just go into my office, we'll have the executive session. I'd like the same people that make the motion to go out and to come back in, make the motion to close the meeting afterwards. Is that okay? Would somebody like to make that motion? Tambourine? And
And then second.
and second? There we go. All right. Thank you. We stand adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Pete.